Did you know that there are real-life superhumans living with us? Some of these humans with incredible capabilities were born with gifts, but others chose to train and perfect their abilities. As scientists try to discover what makes these humans special, let's see the superhuman abilities they have. Do you agree that they deserve the superhero tag? Let's see. Number 10. Real Samurai. In the past, samurais were warriors whose skills in combat were legendary and feared by both friends and enemies. Isao Machi is a talented superhuman whose skills could rival those of any samurai from ancient stories. Machi can slice anything in two with his sword, even a pellet shot from a gun at 200 miles per hour. While most people might know how to use a sword, Isao Machi is different because of his great speed and accuracy that helps him break one incredible feat after another. In the Guinness Book of World Record, Machi is credited for the fastest 1,000 martial arts sword cuts, most martial arts katana cuts, and the fastest tennis ball cuts with a sword. His skills are often compared to a robot since machines are the only things that can come close to his abilities. Yet Isao Machi was not born with the talent since it's a product of hard work and training. For many years, the Japanese Iaido master has honed his skills with a sword, and every day he picks his favorite weapon and trains. Isao Machi gives a new meaning to the phrase, practice makes perfect. Number 9. Real-life Batman. If you lost your eyes today, how would you move around? Daniel Kish is technically blind, but he has a superpower that enables him to move around and see objects around him. Using echolocation, the same ability that bats have, Kish can drive a bike in heavy traffic, camp in the wild, and even climb trees. So how does he do it? After losing his eyes to retina cancer when he was a kid, Kish taught himself how to use his tongue as a navigational technique. By clicking his tongue, Kish listens to the sound that bounces off objects in the surrounding environment, how far it is. He is just like Daredevil, the blind superhero from the comics who uses radar sense to perceive objects around him. Over time, Kish got so good in his ability that other blind people hired him to help them get around. Number 8. Photographic Memory. Ever wish that you could remember everything that you ever saw? Stephen Wiltshire is a superhuman with a photographic memory, with the ability to memorize and draw anything he sees in intricate details. Stephen Wiltshire was born autistic and didn't speak until the age of 5, but when he finally did, his first words were pen and paper. As an adult, Wiltshire uses his powers for good, making impressions of skylines and street scenes with just one helicopter ride across. One of the best achievements of Stephen Wiltshire was his London skyline in 360 degrees painting, which was a panorama of major landmarks in London. The most outstanding fact is that he did the painting without any sketches, photos, or notes. Every detail he captured was on point. We might carry our cameras around, but they come nowhere close to matching Wiltshire's superhuman abilities. Number 7. Head Balancer. John Evans earned his fame as a strongman who can balance anything on his head, and for many, his talents are both astounding and entertaining. Evans's achievements require no introduction, and from lifting pints of beer to over 150 kilograms car for 33 seconds, the superhuman can support anything with his head and neck. John Evans, who holds 33 Guinness World Records for balancing items on his head, is not your everyday weightlifter, and he admits that he never goes to the gym. While working as a laborer in construction, Evans realized that balancing bricks on his head made him hold more brick than he would with his hands. Over time, he developed a strong neck as the daily work kept him in shape. Years later, Evans tested his capabilities only to discover that his bone density was just like that of a 20-year-old. Other notable achievements by this superhuman include balancing motorcycles, 2 cyclists on their bikes, washing machines, and bunk beds. It's very probable that John Evans could carry the weight of the world on his head if he was big enough to hold it. Number 6. Human lightning conductor. They say that lightning never strikes the same place twice, but one man from the US is an exception to this rule. Roy Cleveland Sullivan, a former US park ranger, earned the title of the Spark Ranger after being struck by lightning 7 times in his life. Roy, who holds the record for the most lightning strikes for any human in history, was exposed to risks of lightning strikes in his job as a park ranger. By working out in the open, the ranger was at most risk of being hit by lightning, but the surprising thing was that with each incident, incident, he survived exceptionally. The first time he was hit, Roy walked away with a hole in his shoe. The second burned off his eyebrows and eyelashes, and the third time it seared his left shoulder, defying statistics that show that 10% of people who get struck by lightning die, while 90% are left with disabilities. Roy never saw an emergency room after a lightning strike. Yet, because Roy was a lightning magnet, many people avoided him for the fear that they would also get struck if a storm hit. At the end of his life, Roy took his own life by suicide for unknown reasons that had many theorizing that he was tired of watching out for storm clouds. Number 5. Baby Superhuman. Liam Hoekstra shot to fame when he was just 5 years old, earning the title of the world's strongest toddler. When he was 6 years old, his parents got curious about what made their special son strong, and after a study, it became clear that Liam was stronger than any of the other 6-year-old kids. The condition that made Liam special was his myostatin deficiency, which led to a massive increase in body mass and double muscling. The lack of myostatin meant that Liam developed muscles easily, as they grew at a faster than normal rate without any exercise. Also, his body is completely unable to store fat, no matter how much he ate. After his biological mom gave up out of fear that she couldn't take adequate care of him, Liam stood out from his peers at a young age.
I just want Liam to be happy. And if it's not in sports, then so be it.
While other kids struggled with chin-ups, he could easily hold himself up for minutes, impressing many and shocking others. The only side effect of Liam's superpower was that he consumed more food than other kids, since his body needed more energy to grow. In the end, with great power came great and delicious responsibilities.
Well, they're calling him Spider-Man, the man who can climb anything.
In Chicago's Sears.
Spider-Man has struck again.
Number 4. Spider-Man. Alan Robert, aka the French Spider-Man, is a professional rock climber, but mountains aren't the only things he can scale. Named the tallest building in the world, and Robert has likely climbed a few of them. Alan Robert takes pride in being the most famous free climber in the world, and he's climbed over 100 buildings and he's still growing strong. In 2011, Robert proved why he's the best climber when he climbed Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. In the 828-meter climb, Robert took just 6 hours using nothing but his hands, feet, and an indomitable spirit. What makes Alan Robert special? His technique, training, and physical conditioning enable him to scale buildings by latching on to small outcrop. In the past, Robert has been arrested on multiple occasions for scaling buildings while wearing a Spider-Man outfit. For the athlete, being great has more to do with sacrifice and concentration, qualities he has mastered over many years. Number 3. Metal Bender. Sakinath Kanapieva is not your average grandma, and while she hasn't entered any weightlifting event, she's easily the strongest in her age group. When she was 10 years old, Sakinath discovered that she was a superhuman when she moved a 661-pound grain container. For a scale, 661 pounds is equal to the weight of 4 grown men. As she got older, Sakinath Kanapieva realized that she could still do some amazing things like twisting 2-inch steel rods and ripping a phone book in half. Think that is standard? In her 70s, Sakinath shocked everyone by lifting a 52-pound dumbbell while standing on nails. What else can she do? She can also break a horseshoe in two like a cookie. Even Schwarzenegger couldn't beat that. Truly, Sakinath Kanapieva from Dagestan, Russia deserves her Guinness World Record as the strongest grandma in the world. Number 2. The Flash. How many marathons can you run in a year? Dean Karnazes is an ultra-marathon runner, but his greatest accomplishment was running 50 marathons in 50 days, back-to-back. In 2005, Karzanes showed the world why he's better than the Flash from the comics when he ran 560 kilometers in 80 hours and 44 minutes across North Carolina. In the incredible display of both stamina and endurance, Karzanes didn't stop to eat or sleep, and for over 3 days, his legs just couldn't stop running. Other achievements by this legend include running a marathon to the South Pole in 2002 and a 320 kilometers relay from Calistoga to Santa Cruz. According to Men's Fitness, Dean Karzanes is one of the fittest men on the planet, and from his impressive resume, it's clear why he deserves the title. Like all the great runners, Karzanes has trained himself never to give up, even when his body tells him to stop. But as a superhuman, Karzanes' muscles don't ever get tired, an ability that makes it possible to keep moving where many would quit. fact. Number 1. The Iceman. How cold is too cold for you? Wim Hof entered the Guinness World Record for his unique ability to sit in an ice bath for 1 hour, 53 minutes and 2 seconds. Hof, famous for his ability to withstand freezing temperatures, is a daredevil who is always chasing the next world record. With over 26 records under his belt, Hof is always pushing the limits of human body, and his accolades are even more impressive. Some of the most notable achievements by the Iceman include running the fastest half marathon barefoot on ice or snow and attempting to climb Mount Everest wearing nothing but shorts and shoes. It seems that there's nothing this real-life snowman won't try. If it involves shocking acts of cold endurance, you can bet that Wim Hof has tried it. As a fitness guru, Wim Hof credits his achievements to techniques such as the Buddhist Tumo meditation technique. The practice that was perfected by monks literally translates to inner fire, a deep state of meditation achieved through breathing and visualization. I'm sure that you're gonna love to watch our video about humanoid robots that have unbelievable power to rule the world on our channel. Make sure to subscribe to us and never miss our amazing videos like this. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay tuned.